Welcome to the Great Detectives of Old Time Radio. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham. In a moment, we're going to bring you this week's installment in the Charlie Chan series. But before we get started, I want to encourage you, if you're enjoying the podcast, to follow us using your favorite podcast software. And I want to encourage you to check out our other podcast. And this week I'm highlighting Public Domain Video Theater. You can view episodes at videotheater.greatdetectives.net, in the Apple Podcast Store, on our YouTube channel, now on Spotify. It's the companion podcast to this one, with public domain TV shows and movies. Most recently, we have an episode of Dragnet, which guest starred Lee Marvin. So check that out, videotheater.greatdetectives.net, and check out all of our podcasts at the Great Detectives of Old Time Radio website. But now, from 1935 or 1936, here are the next two chapters, Blind Side and Blackmail.
The most delightfully fascinating character in the realms of mystery, Charlie Chan. As Charlie Chan's investigation of the murder of Ellen Landini proceeds, suspicion falls in turn upon Ward, Ryder, Dr. Swan, and Romano, all ex-husbands of the opera singer. Suspicion falls, too, upon Leslie Beaton and her brother Hugh, also upon R. Singh, servant to Ward, whose activities the night in question were most unusual. Ireland, Landini's pilot, could have shot Landini from the plane as he landed. And while Inspector Chan is questioning him, his wife, Cecile, taunts him with stunting his plane to give Landini a thrill. Ireland retorts, "You were mad with jealousy." Cecile says, "Yes, mad enough to kill her." Inspector Chan, accompanied by young Holt, the sheriff, leads Cecile to the living room for further questioning.
Cecile, I am fully understanding in matter. You may have said I was mad enough to kill her, as merely, shall we say, figure of speech. But other police, you understand, will not be likely to view speech in similar manner.
Oh, I did not kill her, Monsieur Chan. I speak wild. I was excited. It was, as you say, manner of speech.
Mr. Ryder, you were looking from window. Did you see Cecile outside house?
I did not. Not only that, I saw Cecile coming down the stairs to the upper hall after the shot was fired. She could neither have been outside nor in the study when the shot was fired.
You are forgetting something, Mr. Ryder.
And that is?
I think it is well, Sheriff, that we impart facts to the entire group. Perhaps this will lead to further elucidation. Will you be so kind?
You see, Madame Landini was dead before that shot was fired.
What was that you said?
Landini was killed about 4 minutes before you heard the shot. The sound of the real shot was drowned by the noise of the airplane motor. The shot you heard was a blind to mislead.
Yeah, somehow I don't know whether or not to believe that.
Somehow, Mr. Ryder, makes little difference. Your belief. We are dealing with things as they were.
Monsieur Chan, I can explain every little thing I did. I did not kill Landini. I was sad. I told you before. She sent me her blanket. I do not go. I hear my husband make this stunt over the house. I know he do it for her, Landini. I stand weeping on back stairs because she see me. Landini was killed even 5 minutes before shot. I could not do it. I was gone from study more than 10 minutes. Dr. Swan, he see me downstairs when I placed some more fruit in the bowl in dining room.
That is perfectly true.
And Mr. Ward, he meet me on back stairs when I go to kitchen. Mr. Ryder, he see me when I come downstairs after shot. What could I make what you call murder?
And I saw Cecile when she left the study.
You have many champions, Cecile. That is reward for cheerful countenance and bright spirit. Do not spoil same by such hasty, ill-timed outbursts as, "I was mad enough to kill her." That is all now. You may go to your room. Thank you so much.
So, Miss Beaton, you saw Cecile leave the study.
Yes, I did, Dr. Swan.
One
I
moment.
saw you-
One moment, please, Miss Beaton. Dr. Swan, can you remember what you did see as you looked into study?
I wasn't in the study, and
I did not say you were in study. I said, what did you see in study?
I didn't even look in the study.
Mr. Ryder, what have you to say to that?
You must have forgotten, Doctor. I saw you looking into the study, and you turned and went down to the living room.
You must be mistaken, Ryder. I did not look in the study.
Mr. Sheriff,
Yes, Inspector?
my request that you take Miss Beaton to study. I will join you in a few minutes.
Sure thing. Come on, Miss Beaton.
You are not going to tell me, Dr. Swan, that Mr. Ryder was entirely mistaken?
I don't know what you're driving at.
You are not going to say that you were never near study?
That is exactly what I'm going to say. I'm sorry, Ryder, but you were mistaken. Or else you were trying to put the blame for the murder on my shoulders.
Don't be a fool, Swan. Why should I say I saw you if I didn't?
Please, gentlemen, remember that he who would throw stones must first reflect upon safety of his own house of black. Dr. Swan, Mr. Ryder's statement is corroborated by another witness. Someone else saw you at study.
Who? Who else is lying about me?
No one is lying, Doctor. There's no accusation attached to being at study. That is, there was none till you so vehemently denied same.
Now look here, Chan. I don't intend to
Dr. Swan, let me give you a piece of advice. He comes too near to guilt, the empress who is tried. He comes too close to same, the emperor whose faulty rule is much denied.
Are you inferring that?
Nothing was inferred, my dear doctor, if you did not bring upon yourself by too fervent denial of inconsequential facts. That is all, doctor, at present. Thank you so much.
By Jove. Well, I'll be. Hold.
Holt? Sheriff?
The old sheriff, young Don's father, coming up the terrace. How are you, Sheriff?
Well, John Ryder. I'd recognize your voice anywhere. How are you?
Oh, fine, old chap. Except for this enforced idleness while they investigate this murder. Oh, this is Inspector Chan, Mr. Holt.
Yes, indeed. Great pleasure, Mr. Holt. Much honor. Your honorable reputation is on lips of all domiciled at this place.
Shucks, Mr. Chan, my reputation ain't nothing alongside of yours. Is my boy still here?
Yes. Present moment he is in study. Shall we join him?
If you don't mind.
To be as you say. Be pleased to take my arm, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chan. I used to know my way about the Ward place pretty thoroughly. But it's been some time, and...
Yes, I'm fully understanding, Mr. Holt. When one's eyesight is not as good as it used to be.
Oh, shucks, Mr. Chan. I ain't touchy about being blind. Not now. Time was when it irked me to be reminded of it. But, oh, well, a fella gets used to it in time, and I've had lots of time.
Terrible pity, though, Mr. Holt. Wealthiest mandarin who is blind would gladly change places with lowest coolie for opportunity to see.
And that's no lie, Mr. Chan.
Perhaps, yes. I think it better we will knock before entering study.
Come in.
Dad,
Why, hello, son. I thought I'd better run up and find how you're getting along.
Oh, Dad, this is Miss Leslie Beaton.
Glad to meet you, indeed.
I'm very glad to meet you. Here, won't you sit in this chair?
Yes. Thank you, Stephen.
I know you wanted to discuss lots of things. I'll go downstairs.
Before you go, Miss Beaton, remember our secret. You write again these notes. I will tell one by one persons in this house that you have done so, and we will wait results.
You don't need me for the next 10 minutes, do you?
No extreme necessity, no. You wish to...
I thought I'd take Miss Beaton out and show her around a bit.
Yeah. Splendid suggestion, indeed, yes. Good for both of you. Run along.
Well, I guess my boy told me most of the developments over the telephone this morning. Anything else to add, Inspector?
Not much. No one has alibis, but then, too, no one very much more motive than other. Mr. Ward, of course, would be least likely, since his only hope of tracing possible son was through Landini's help.
Yes. My boy was telling me about Ward hearing that Landini had a son by him. Anyone else know about that son?
None but Cecile, who told Ward in first place, and Romano, who was lying.
I guess you and me, Mr. Chan, think along about the same lines in a case like this. Ain't got much use for science myself. I study people.
Fingerprints, ballistics, and such, Mr. Holt, I agree. Not so much use in tracing criminals, but very useful in obtaining conviction.
I understand you didn't get much from our Singh.
Afraid not. I have lost tact with our Singh. I travel with current. I was ambitious. I sought success. And for what I have won, I have paid the price. Am I accepted American? No. Am I Chinese? Not in the eyes of our king. But he who chooses in freedom the path, he must follow it to the end.
I wonder if you'll understand. I've been a friend of R. Singh for 50 years. I'd rather cut my tongue out than say a word against him.
Yes, of course.
But duty's duty, and it's my boy. You understand?
Yes.
I've been sitting here pulling something off the arm of this chair. Here. What is it?
Sort of a light, hairy fuzz.
And the color, man, the color.
Blue. Same as blue from blanket.
Blue. Landini sent our Singh for a blanket. He came back with a blue blanket for the little dog. He came back after you had found the body. You sent him away with it. Did he lay the blanket down?
No, Mr. Holt, he did not.
No, Mr. Sam. That time he didn't. But God help me, that blanket has been in this room before.
I'm afraid so, Mr. Holt.
I can see it all. He fetched the blanket, found Landini alone, laid the blanket down on the arm of the chair, killed Landini with her own gun, tidied the place, mixed the lids on the cigarette boxes. Did I tell you why he did it? Why he killed her, Mr. Chan? Because he, too, knew a Ward's boy. He did it because of his love, his blind devotion to Dudley Ward. Here, put this fuzz in an envelope and we'll compare it with the blue blanket later. But it ain't really necessary.
Right, Mr. Holt. I'm afraid it's not at all necessary.
That missing son of Dudley Ward was the first thing I thought on when my boy Don told me of the details. You see, I know the ways of these old Chinese with the boys of any family. Year after year, I watched old Singh looking out for Dudley Ward and his brother, a-cooking and a-slaving for 'em from the cradle to the grave.
Then, Mr. Holt, you are fully appreciative of my feelings in this matter.
Yes.
I come to find view at Mr. Ward's request to help him find his son. I stay to witness, almost, murder of Landini, woman who bore that son. And now I am face to face with stern necessity of arresting the loyal servant, the faithful friend, One my own country.
I ain't sure that I blames our Sing so much. He is about his beloved master's son, a son that he should have had the honor and pleasure of raising for Dudley. Here's Landini refused to tell of his whereabouts. He sees red. Furious, he hates. Hates with a killing hate. Opportunity, and he kills Landini.
Yes, Mr. Holt. And even Mr. Ward does not realize what is going on in that old Chinese head. But Ah Sing does not follow his thoughts to their logical conclusion. So often that is way. He who diverts irrigation stream to ruin neighbors' watermelon patch oftentimes forgets that in so doing he deprives himself of water necessary for irrigation of his own watermelons. Sing forgot. In killing Landini, he did away with only chance of finding that boy he so much wished to raise.
And 9/10 of the murders committed are committed by people who regret it after the smoke has cleared away. Yes, Mr. Chan, it was Sing who come in here and killed Landini, and I would almost have hung myself before I said it.
Must admit that I have similar feelings.
You reckon I'm right?
I very much fear that you are.
One more thing before we send for that boy of mine to make the formal arrest. I notice a change in his voice.
Yes?
Yes, he speaks of Miss Beaton, but he thinks of Leslie. He's all I got, Mr. Chan. And, well, he's not accustomed to women folk from the city, and I'd hate to see him hurt. Maybe a word from you would...
In this case, Mr. Holt, your fears are groundless. She is lovely in heart as well as in look. She has been accustomed to sacrifice. She has raised younger brother, and she has...
Here they come.
Did not hear anything?
My ears are my eyes.
Yes. Come in.
Well, we had a grand walk. That's what we both needed.
Yes, I didn't realize it, but it is what we needed.
Fear of possible reprisals all dissipated, Miss Beaton?
No, I can't say that. Well, after all, it isn't exactly pleasant to have been in the room next to the murder and to feel that you are watched, your personal belongings stolen.
Say, what are you two looking so solemn about?
You know what I said to you this morning, son?
You mean about our Sing? Yeah, but you're all wrong.
Just a minute. You know that our Sing appeared right in this room right after the murder?
Of course.
And that he had blue blanket for little dog Trouble?
Sure I do.
Well, if I was to tell you I found blue fur from that blanket on the arm of this chair here, what would you say? You'd say that the blanket had been in this room before our Sing appeared with it, wouldn't you?
I might. Again, I might not.
What was that you said?
I'd say that the blanket might have been brought into the room after the murder.
But you and I know that Ah Sing did not lay the blue blanket down on arm of chair when he appeared in room. I sent him away. He still had blanket in his hand.
Yeah, but you're both forgetting one thing. When we carried the body, Landini, out of the room, we wrapped her in blankets. Blue blankets they were, too. And it was Ah Sing who fetched them for us.
Boy, I ain't never been so proud of you afore.
Oh, I'm so glad. I couldn't think of kindly old Ah Sing committing such a horrible murder.
Mr. Sheriff, I take metaphorical hat off very thick head in admiration for your ability to so thoroughly clear atmosphere.
Well, I guess, Mr. Chan, that we kind of wandered into the wrong pew.
Wrong pew, perhaps, Mr. Holt, but maybe correct church? Who can say?
I tell you, doctor, I said nothing of the sort. I will not what you call tolerate this. I speak to Inspector Chan.
Seems to be some sort of trouble.
Ah, Inspector Chan. Dr. Swan has been accusing me of saying that I saw him at a study.
Be so good as to come inside and close the door. Thank you so much. Mr. Romano, Mr. Holt, Father Sheriff, Dr. Swan.
It is a pleasure.
Glad to know you.
Sit down, please. What is nature of disagreement?
Dr. Swan is telling me that someone beside Mr. Ryder say he was at a study. I tell him, what about it?
He asked me, what about it? Here I am practically accused of this murder because I was last one seen at study.
So sorry, Dr. Swan, that you jumped to such hasty conclusions. It is common fault, but particularly bad one in man of medical profession. Suppose you diagnose angina pectoris as acute appendicitis. Pretty serious blunder, no? Better that you leave diagnosis of this case to sheriff and your humble servant. You see, Doctor, other people beside you were seen to leave study. Mr. Romano here.
But I never deny that I went to study. I never deny that I speak with Landini.
Right so, Mr. Romano. But you really never did explain why you went there.
I tell you before, I go to plead with Landini. I tell her you cannot afford a new husband this time. I tell her you have not the money to keep up payments for settlement you make with me.
And does that explain the money missing from Landini's handbag?
Indeed it does. I hear aeroplane approach. I know Landini. She rushed to window to see plane. I plead with her. She open handbag. She throw me the money. She say, take this. I will send more from Reno. That is all.
So sorry, Mr. Romano, but it is not quite all. You left Landini alive?
What a certainly. If I had not, I should have said so.
How long after leaving study did you have to wait before hearing shots?
I cannot be certain. Time has ceased to move for me. I am broken-hearted. I still love Landini. She treats me shamefully, throw me off like what you call it, old shoe. But in spite of her faithlessness, I still love her. That voice, that glorious voice. What could young Beaton do with that voice? Nothing, nothing. He's a baby. Landini needs a stronger hand. Me, I can handle her. I say young Beaton, nothing but a passing fancy. That is all.
And you, Dr. Swan, have you made up your mind to tell us that you were in the vicinity of the study a few minutes before a shot was heard?
I was not. I had nothing to go there for. I was ready to leave the house. Did not intend to stay the night.
Come in.
Mr. Chan, I've been doing some work on the plane. I ought to take her up. Thought if there was anything I could do over in Reno, say, it's not much of a hop in a plane.
Not at the moment, Mr. Island. But your appearance is most timely. Well, it is said, patience and the ripe melon will fall of itself. You came at precise moment I was about to send for you.
Yes? Anything I can do?
Mr. Island, night of your arrival, night of Landini's murder, people in house all flocked to meet you when you landed. Your wife, Steele, Mr. Hugh Beaton, Mr. Wall.
No, Mr. Chan. Not all of them. Mr. Romano didn't. Miss Beaton didn't. Swan didn't.
I should say not. You know what I think of you.
And it's no secret what I think of you, Swan.
No man can look forward to meeting with chauffeur who's loved to his wife behind his back.
Oh, is that so? Why, you... If it wasn't for Miss Beaton here, I'd tell you what I think of you, you rotten blackmailer.
That's a lie!
Oh, no, it isn't. They'll find it out sooner or later. Blackmailing Landini for years.
Yes, Mr. Island, what for? For what did Dr. Swan blackmail Landini?
I don't know. I know for how much. $250 a month. At last she couldn't pay. She told me. I told her to tell that buzzard to scram. And I guess she did. From the looks of what happened to her that night.
Blackmail. Somehow the word has a vile flavor, not too much different from murder. But Inspector Chan, with an eloquent wave of the hand, has dismissed everyone from the study. We'll know more when he has thought more upon this latest development. After you've heard from your sponsor, Inspector Chan will favor us again. Well, Mr. Chan, what piece of Chinese wisdom can you impart to us this evening?
I have been pondering Dr. Swan's unforgiving, blackmailing propensities. Blackmail is more than crime. It is also sin. To be entrusted with secrets is to be honored. To betray secrets is to blacken heart with badge of dishonor. But to blackmail is cowardly act to which lowest snake whose belly drags the ground would not descend.
Very truly spoken, Inspector Chan. Thank you, and good night.
Welcome back. I forgot Miss Beaton's brother in the census of suspects from last week. What can I say? You're bound to forget somebody in this group. I don't think the pilot's wife did it, although I could be proved wrong. I did like Inspector Chan saying in his own inimitable way, come on, we're having enough going on here without you having some ill-advised outburst. I also liked when he talked about his experience of being caught between two worlds, not really fully accepted, or at home either in Chinese circles or in mainstream American society. That sense of not fitting in and not being at home is a beautifully relatable idea, and it's true for a lot of people. There are some folks who live like that, and then there are others who will kind of twist themselves into whatever shape it takes to fit in and adopt all the ideas and practices that are associated with the identity that they most want to be at home with. And of course, there are people who tend to fit into whatever group you're talking about. And there can be this rigidity of demanding that everybody who wants to fit in and wants to truly be treated as an insider conform to every whim of their group thought. And so many people do find themselves in that situation where you're either true to who you really are or you put up a false front to fit. It's a pretty deep idea for this series, and I can't recall ever having seen it explored in any Charlie Chan film, although I don't claim to have seen them all. Though it has to be said that after that, he and the old sheriff went completely off the rail. They developed this deep theory of the psychology of why Ah Sing committed the murder, even though it didn't make sense for the goal that he was supposedly wanting to succeed. You know, and this was the old sheriff who said he didn't care for evidence like fingerprints. He's just kind of like, I'll literally grab a thin thread and form an entire case on the base of it and conform my understanding of reality to it. Fancy policemen and their fingerprints, they don't have anything on that approach to evidence. I do seriously wonder how much Chan might have believed what he was saying because of the way Connolly played it. You could interpret the situation that Chan let the old sheriff go off just so his son could correct him, and he could be proud of his son, rather than being somewhat shamefaced at being told by a famous detective that he got it wrong. Because if that's not what happened, it's a bad leap of logic into wild speculation that could have been avoided by paying attention to the facts. Well, now it's time to thank our Patreon supporter of the day, and I want to go ahead and thank MCF, Patreon supporter since March of 2021, currently supporting the podcast at the Master Detective level of $15 or more per month. thanks so much for your support. And that will actually do it for today. If you're enjoying the podcast, please follow us using your favorite podcast software and rate and review the podcast wherever you download us from. We'll be back next Tuesday with another installment in the Landini murder mystery, but join us back here tomorrow for Broadway's My Beat, where...
Why didn't you and Mario get married? You'd have been fine for him.
I would have. I asked him to marry me a lot of times. Mario wanted to, and we could have on his police pension, but he had to take care of his family first, he said. His father, his sister, they came first with him.
Yeah, they would with Mario. Must have been tough for him after he got wounded on the force.
It was. Mario was a proud guy. Not everything was good enough for him. That's why it made me feel good. Mario loved me.
What'd he do before he got that job in the furniture factory?
He tried to get other jobs. There weren't any. He didn't have to work. We could have lived good on his pension and me working, but Mario had to keep Christina in that fancy boarding school, help his father.
His friends during that time, who were they?
His father, his sister, me. Not whoever it was robbed the payroll at the factory, if that's what you're trying to say.
The night of the robbery, where was Mario?
He was with me. He left his post and came to me.
Maybe he went somewhere else first. Maybe he was in on the robbery and then came to you for an alibi.
You told me you knew Mario. You lied. You lied in your teeth.
The factory where he worked, Carrie, where is it?
The Paul Dinsmore Furniture Manufacturers in Brooklyn, Mr. Clover. You'll get along good with Mr. Dinsmore because he thinks Mario robbed him, too.
Carrie.
Get out of here, Mr. Clover. That's all I ask of you. Get out of my sight.
I hope you'll be with us then. In the meantime, send your comment to box13@greatdetectives.net. Follow us on Twitter at Radio Detectives. And check us out on Instagram, instagram.com/greatdetectives. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off.